Okay, people. Oh, I do not like being on this side. Let's switch.
Okay. That's better. That feels better. Yeah.
Yes. What's going on? Welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another live episode of He Said What? Yes. Listen, I am so excited. Let me take these bracelets off because they make click-clack noises that I don't like. If you don't already know who I am your girl Simply Bree, and tonight we have our special guest, Mr. RG himself, Royal Gaines the second.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's a big mission. I got my government out here today in these streets.
Yeah, listen, we can call your government and not mine.
That's right.
So call back.
So, yeah, it's not like it's a secret for me. So
yeah, right. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is He Said What all about? Well, this year we're actually taking a different approach. We are actually talking about issues, problems within the Black community that we are not addressing, whether it's intentionally or whether it's just because we lack the knowledge. So, of course, we have our male guest, Mr. RG himself, who is going to enlighten us on 4 topics that he selected from his own personal perspective. And of course, we will be speaking generally as well. So I would love for you guys to hit the comments as you are already. Listen, hey, Carlin, what's going on? What's up, you and Danielle? Kim, hey, Kim. Famo. We got to get Kim up here on Simply Sports too. Teresa, what's going on, Teresa? Glad you guys could join us. And so this is just a really casual conversation. And it doesn't hurt that I actually know RG. Like, we work together. So I kind of already know a lot of his perspectives. But for you guys out there, I'm sure you are wondering, why are we doing this? Because last year we were talking a lot about the communication between men and women, which we still are. But it's time to just add a little serious tone to it, because right now there's a lot of things that's going on in the news and in the community itself. And so I feel personally that in order for us to heal and even approach relationships differently, whether it's romantic, platonic, family, we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Okay. I need to get an elephant so I can be like, an elephant in the room.
All right.
I'm going to do something like that. So tonight, as you guys can see, your topic, his selected topic, will appear right below down here. And we are going to kick it off with his first topic, upbringing within the households. So, you, sir, being a Black man, how important is having a father figure in the household when it comes to the way the man grows up into his adulthood?
It varies per situation. I know that for my upbringing, having my dad around. Oh, just coffee tonight. Actually, I'm cleaned it up. I just got coffee and a little scotch. I mean, a little creamer.
Wait, what? Okay, all right. Continue.
Yes. I know I didn't realize how important my upbringing was with my dad until I got older and became a dad. It was always cool to have him around, because your dad. So it gave me a model to kind of learn how to be a dude, but I didn't understand the jewels that he was dropping by example or sometimes just verbally until I became a dad.
Right.
But it's not always a condition where everyone's going to have a living dad, but a lot of people do have male figures that do take the place. So even if they're not like waking up with you every day, fixing a bowl of cereal, it's important to have a male figure somewhere in that child's life where they can drop those jewels of wisdom, whatever they may be. Because I don't try to judge people with my metrics. I try to meet people where they are. So everyone's situation is different.
Right. So, okay, let's go ahead and actually acknowledge the stepfathers that actually play a significant role. They are taking on the responsibilities of either another parent, who is just neglectful, or someone who they recognize, hey, I may not be the best mom, I may not be the best dad. I'm okay with another person stepping in and raising my children. Do you think that the step parents get their flowers? Do they get their roses as much as they should?
I don't know. You gotta ask my oldest son because I am both. I have my oldest is my step, but he's my kid. I pay taxes for him. You know.
I'm done.
So, but technically he's step. But yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. I just hope that my wisdom or madness, whatever you want to call it, actually enhances life
Yes.
in some way because it's not easy,
Yeah.
and I'm not always the easiest person to deal with.
Right.
So I just hope that some of the stuff actually stuck, you know.
Right.
And hopefully, you know, I mean, I think he's turning out to be a decent young man. He's almost 30 now. He might be 30. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's about to be 30. So yeah, I've been with the kid since he's 8. You know, they years add up.
Yeah, it goes by so fast. And I'm sure it's interesting when you have those situations where you guys are out and about and people be like, yeah, he looks like you. And you're like, yeah, okay.
Hey, you know, so like, uh-huh.
Sometimes they do. That's just like how your partner grows on you and your partner start to look alike. That
Yeah.
and the family dogs. So Curlin says that they usually don't get the acknowledgement, the roses to flowers for being there. And that is so
Yeah.
true. And it's unfortunate, but from He Said What Network, listen, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you women for stepping in and playing the role, not even playing the role, but actually growing within the role of raising someone else's child and loving them as if they're yours unconditionally. My mom used to say, it's a package deal. You want me, you will
Facts.
get what comes along with me. And you see it in the news a lot where you have these relationships where women are just exposing their children to any old body, just whoever they just started talking to. And these people are harming their children and is very unfortunate. And, you know, it just makes dating even more challenging and scary. So if, let's say, you had a friend who was raising someone else's child, or even let's say they weren't able to raise their child in the same household as the mother, and they found out that, you know, something was going on with their child. They didn't know what, but they found out and they came to you and they're like, yo, I'm ready to ride. Like, come on, you coming with me? What do you think in your mind would be the best advice to give to them, or the best response even at that moment?
So you want to keep them out of jail answer, or you want my true answer? Which one you want? I can give you both. Because
Hey, okay, let's do the get out of jail free card. So we're going to jail first.
okay, because I'm like, when my family come to me, which is my brothers and my sisters, including you too, if you tell me there's a problem, which car are we taking and where are we burying this person?
Allegedly.
No, look, no one's had to catch the big Cadillac in the sky. I can say that honestly. But there's been some times where people have almost talked themselves into it, but we were able to resolve matters without going there.
Right.
Because I am 100% a believer that kids should have a childhood. I don't care what it is. You don't have to have the best toys in the world, but you need to be a kid. Because that's the only time in your world you can be a kid. Right. So I take it very serious when people try to take other kids' childhoods away on some nonsense. That is a fight situation. Because it's already hard enough being an adult.
Yeah, no, and then to grow up through that childhood and have the memories and have, you know, the trauma stick around, it definitely plays a role in who you become as an adult. So,
Facts.
And speaking
now,
of, yes,
let me tell you not go to jail.
Oh yeah, the other
this is, The other part of this is like, if you have the means, then you need to file for full custody of your child. You need to get that evidence up and get the facts so you can protect your kid.
Right. They're so cute. They're so stinking cute.
But sometimes that legal red tape takes a mighty long time. A lot of damage can happen while you waiting for the legal system to work out. So
right. You see how I just skipped the whole, there was another option. I thought we were just riding. So I was like, oh, yeah. That's right. The other option. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be, I'm trying to give it from both perspectives, because sharing showers ain't sexy. That's why we have to be efficient.
Right. Yeah. Listen, if you are out there sharing a shower and you would like to advertise on the network, all you have to do is send us an email, info@hesaidwhatnetwork.com. We will get your story out there, and we appreciate you taking one for the team. Kim says,
welcome home.
Huh?
Welcome home. They just got out of prison. They share showers.
You're hoping. Yeah, yes. I don't know. They got technology in prison. They may be watching us inside. Kim says,
oh, shout out. I forgot.
Yes. Kim says, shout out to the uncles that be the male influence for the children too. #flowers for RG the second.
You know what Kim don't realize? Her kids is my kids too. She just never realized it.
Yo, sometimes it's the uncles, like even with my son, like the uncles have that big influence on the children. And it's like all you can really do is just sit back and just watch it blossom and appreciate that they have someone to talk to. Like it may not be you, it may not even be their biological father, but
someone's
as long
there.
as they have someone, right? As long as they have someone to talk to, that's all that matters. Now, going into, of course, the next topic, raising children. So let's talk about talking to these children, because nowadays you can't say nothing to these kids out here without their parents wanting to fight. Whether you're telling the child you shouldn't be disrespectful using such language around your elders, respect your elders. Why is it that we're so quick to react without listening to what is being said when it comes to someone else disciplining our children verbally?
Well, our communities are not as close knit, so we don't know where people is cut. Mm-hmm. So because honestly, my first response, if I see you barking at my kid, it's gonna be like, what the, and it's gonna be stab first, ask questions later, because we don't know where people are cut nowadays.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of fine tuning, and I think people take too many liberties with this whole village thing. Okay. My thing is, I'll give you an example. Like the little boy next door is a really good kid. Yeah. And he was outside with his friends cursing and just cursing. I was like, hey, homie. I was like, let me talk to you for a minute. He said, my mama let me say that. I said, I know. I'm not saying what your mama's telling you is wrong, but I will tell you guys that the real OGs and the smarter kids get their point across without cursing. So if you want to curse a lot, you just showing that you're not smarter than everybody else. Right. You know what I mean? So you try to give them some game and try to get them to understand.
Right.
Yes. Indeed, Ezel. Yep.
Ezel, I do not need you to encourage the madness. Stab him in the eye.
The shank, son. The shank.
Where did you guys come from? I need to talk to you about your past. Let's lay on the sofa. I'm gonna get a sofa for y'all. You lay on the sofa. I'm listening. Just get it all out, because y'all sound traumatized. But yeah. So how would you, so you said yes, violence, you may choose violence today that you see someone even talking to your child, or it looks like they're barking at your child. When it comes to the whole honesty policy, do you find that a lot of parents will take their child's word for it before they take the word of an adult?
Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate. But like I said, there's so much bad stuff happening, because what's happening, right? It's like you call yourself trusting this adult, and this adult is on some old like Penn State type nonsense. Yeah. So then next thing you know, you're dealing with that. Damn, my mom didn't pay attention to me. She didn't believe me when I told her something was really happening to me. She took this stranger over her child.
Right.
There's no wiggle room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're almost like Sherlock Holmes in this piece. You know what I mean? Right. You got to find out where the line is, because everybody's got a line of BS in some cases. So you got to figure out where it is.
Ezel makes a good point. He says, not if they know their child. Like if you know if you know your child is prone to lying, and that's one thing that I try to teach my child is like, listen, we can't be doing this lying mess, because when I need to defend you, I need to know that if you say this is what happened, this is what happened.
And I'm glad you said that, because that is a big thing that at my crib. I know when I was a kid, if somebody said I did something, it was ass beat first, and then what happened. So I try to actually let my kids like be 100 with me. I'm like, look, when something go down, you gotta be honest with me, whether it works in your favor or not, because that's the only way I can hold you down. Right. But if I find you lying to me, you will have wished that whatever happened to you happened to you in these streets.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be way worse than whatever happened to you in the street. So,
right.
Because that's the only way I can protect you is by knowing the truth.
Yeah. So one thing I still do sometimes with my son, when I would catch him doing little things, like even stealing from the store and you have money in your pocket. So now you're just stealing for the thrill of it. I would take him to the police station. Hey, can you guys talk to him about stealing and let him know where this can lead him? Talk to him now before you guys end up picking him up later. And, you know, it wasn't, because I have law enforcement in my family. It wasn't trying to instill the fear of the law enforcement on the child. It's bringing to the forefront these consequences that you can actually undergo if you keep this up. And like, you can say something.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you finish. Sorry, because I actually kind of did something like that when my oldest child was younger. He stole somebody's badge to get into the YMCA, and he was just doing wild stuff. So I made him pick out 5 of his favorite things, and we went to a homeless shelter and gave it to a random kid.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't like, you don't understand. I was like, yo, man, you got it way better than a lot of people. So let me take you to some people who don't have it as well as you. Right. And he didn't even know what he was picking out. I said, pick out your 5 best things. So he in there like, yeah. Like, I ain't tell him. Then we just went up there like, pick that kid. Here you go. So a couple pairs of shoes, a nice video game system. Yeah, he run that.
Whoa. So Ezel says that boy is normal. We all steal from the self-checkout. Because I'd be let me tell you something. I hate walking out with in Walmart when somebody else is walking out, because I'm like, because if they stealing, this thing ain't about to go off with me walking out, because I know I ain't stealing. So, So Ezo says stealing from Walmart self-checkout unifies the human race.
I thought I was going to Walmart in pajamas myself, but I guess there's new ways to do it.
You gotta stuff in your pajamas.
That's right.
But yeah, so I mean, could you imagine, like, if our children had the opportunity to have this whole village, you know, when it comes to raising children mindset, like how could things possibly be without all of the craziness and the fear? Like, how would that work?
I think they still do. I just think it's in small pockets.
Yeah.
And it's not as globally recognized as we used to have it, you know, in our old neighborhoods. Yeah. So, but I think it's still there. I think it'll come back, because I find that our young people, I don't feel afraid anymore, because I thought 80 years from now I'd wake up and there'd be Gatorade in every water faucet. But I feel like there's hope for the future. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Shout out to Erica. Erica said, no, sir. The world would be an amazing place. I think so too. I think with the children that we are raising now, they are so far advanced in thinking when it comes to technology and shortcuts and making life very simple, that if you get a group of them and they become our Professor X, they become our counselors and our therapists and our leaders, I feel like we are in good hands. I just feel like the whole instant gratification would be the problem.
Well, we're seeing it now, though. Think about it, right? Yeah. We never had this awareness with mental health until the youth grew up. Because I'm like, even I know I wasn't talking about no mental health at 20, 30, heck, 45. So
just now figuring out what it is, right?
Yeah. Right. So we've already started to see the influence of the younger people.
Yeah. So speaking of influence, social influences. You just dive right in there. Social influences. The power of the internet, the power of influence. Do you think that it deserves the amount of authority that we feed into it when it comes to society and identifying who you are and what you represent and your value?
It's kind of, I would say 50-50, right?
Okay.
Because I can acknowledge the power of social media because it gave a lot of voiceless people a voice where they were pretty much marginalized and were not being heard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a gateway to the port of hell where you also have those other people who just want to take minds and spirits and twist them.
Right.
So it's always going to be that way because to me, social influences and social media is technically the mirror to what our society already is, except for now we actually see it instead of people acting like it's not what it is.
Right. Yeah. And that's the troubling part too, when we act like everything is okay and there's no problems and we live in a perfect world. That it's a false reality. And
Very
you
much
get
so.
people so used to living like that they don't want to identify problems. They don't want to identify the truth. They rather just sit here in front of this laptop or computer or cell phone, take pictures, smile. Have you ever caught yourself, and I'm guilty of it, and I'll admit it, have you ever caught yourself taking a picture and then once you take the pictures, it's like you're done. Like, this isn't how I really feel. I'm not really like, I'm just, you're putting on for social media. I won't even say putting on, but you're exposing what appears to be a more positive, happier side.
No, actually, I think I've been brutally honest because I don't have the energy to keep lying to myself. I'm lazy. So whatever it is what it is.
Right. Where the ball falls.
Yeah. You're going to see the same Yoda shirt on probably in a couple days from now after it come out the washing machine.
Oh my God.
I'm probably still going to have a cigar in my mouth and I'm probably going to be still drinking coffee with booze in it. It's not going to change very much.
So that's what's in there, huh?
Yeah, but that's every day. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is I feel like some people have used that to actually open up their level of expression, right?
Right.
Some people, they don't feel like, wow, that's amazing what Kim said. Anyway, I feel like some people that would not be able to express themselves use it as their mirror to actually project the way they want to be. And some people just be lying.
Yeah. Straight up. You look, you like, now I know that's not his car. I know he's sitting on somebody else's car, like, or he ain't got no money. Matter of fact, he owe me some money. Why he up here flashing money? So Facts. Kim makes a very good point. Kim says, but most of us were raised not to let white folks in the family business, no matter how much we are suffering as a people. I grew up in that era where you don't tell what's going on in this household. I don't care how bad it get. Like, you don't tell people whether somebody's mama's getting beat, somebody's getting molested, anything. You keep, that's the house's business. And that's the problem that we do have, because we grow up with all of these secrets, not understanding the childhood trauma that it creates behind it. Like, for example, Uncle Willie, he a little special. He like to have little girls sit on his lap, but he's special. Don't go over to Uncle Willie's house by yourself.
Yeah, don't go back there messing with Junior. Don't go back there messing with Junior.
He a little crazy. He a little crazy now. Y'all better leave him alone now. Why are we condoning it? Because if we're not actually just coming out and calling a spade, you know that this person is a pedophile, or they're a rapist, or they're a molester. But instead of addressing it and telling people why you shouldn't go around him and taking action, you just soft play, just a little special.
Well, it was twofold, right? some of the things we used to protect ourselves in the past are now coming back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where no matter what we did, the fate was coming from forces beyond our recognition. So we had to keep our problems in house because they were always looking for reasons to harm us in the first place.
Right.
Which worked out in the 50s, the 60s. Yeah, we had to keep things in house because that was the only way we could protect ourselves because they were always looking for a reason to break our society and our homes down now.
Right.
However, some of those bad habits are ingrained to us to the point where now we're actually condoning bad behavior. Mm-hmm. And we're not even policing it. Because that was the biggest thing about old school. Like, yeah, you may have got away with it and we ain't tell the police, but you better believe it's going to be a brick or a bottle that just might fade you out. Or somebody's going to come see you for the things that you did.
Yes.
So the policing is gone.
Right.
But the secrets we still keep. And that's the jacked up part about it.
Right. That's interesting. So Curlin says, I think all families do that, not just ours. And that is true. Mm-hmm. They all have a way of doing it, you know. And for example, when someone, and I know they used to do this back in the days growing up, if someone got pregnant, you send them down south. They disappear. You don't see them no more. White families do that too. That child, they disappear, and then they come back, and it's like nothing ever happened.
I never understood that. They still pregnant. Just because you send them to another state, that don't mean the baby is not coming. You know what I'm saying?
Non-existent.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's unfortunate, and I think what we need to work on, seeing how we are talking about underlying issues and things that we are neglecting to address, we first have to acknowledge that it happens, regardless of what race, regardless of what gender, it happens, and understand why does it happen? Is there a mental breakdown? Is there hurt people going on? Like, what's causing this? Let's talk about it. Let's not act like it's not happening or it's not going to happen to me. Because
it's also having the tools though, Bree, because a lot of us don't have the tools. And it takes a brave person to acknowledge their deficiencies and try to fix them. Mm-hmm. And I think nowadays people are more braver to acknowledge their deficiencies and try to better them. Because we were always taught strength. We're always taught to be stoic. We're always taught to be superheroes.
Right.
Tough as nails.
Yeah.
I know my foot is broken. I'm still going to work. No. I stubbed my toe. I might call off for a week, son. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. So, yeah. So it's just trying to break down those walls mentally so we can open ourselves up to be better people overall.
Yeah. And we're going to, before we take this break, what we'll do, you guys, I appreciate everyone that's watching us live. Please make sure that you've subscribed to the network and get your pens and paper ready, because at the end of the show, you will be able to find out how to reach out to RG and what all he has going on. When we come down, I do want to talk more about this topic, because I also feel like when you allow yourself to address these issues and you become vulnerable and you put yourself out there, you run the risk of judgment. And I think that's the big reason why a lot of people really don't want to tell you what's going on and address these matters, because now they're going to be put on the cross. So you guys are tuned into He Said What. I am your girl, Simply Bree, and we have our guest, RG, and we are going to take a break. And then when we return, we'll continue the conversation. So we'll see you guys in just a second.
Where you get your hip hop from? Yeah. What's up? This Tribal Trigger Trench in the building. You already know. Nip, naughty.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media.
What up, y'all, man? It's your boy Do It All, Do Pray Kelly, right here on Heritage Hip Hop, man. Look, man, let me tell you something. Make sure you support Heritage Hip Hop, because without these brothers bringing you hip hop, then we're not gonna stay informed, man, the way that we need to stay informed, man. And they're not just giving you hip hop, man. They're giving you the heritage of hip hop right here, man. Yo, Karev, I see you. Heritage hip hop, man. Let's do it.
It ain't nothing like heritage hip hop.
All right, we are back, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is He Said What with your girl Simply Bree, and our guest this evening is the one and only RG.
Hello.
So before we went to break, you were definitely talking about the resources, the tools that we don't have in order to have these conversations. And one thing that I did want to mention, or that I thought about, was the fact that when we do have these conversations, it's almost like you kind of have to put yourself in the forefront and be okay being transparent by being vulnerable. In order to be vulnerable, you have to be okay with any type of backlash. You have to be okay with the consequences and the judgment that will come with it. So it's almost like you have to be strong and willing. You're the sacrificial lamb, in order to help other people. But do we even have that mindset? Is that something that we're willing to risk?
I think the more we do it, it becomes easier. Mm-hmm. But it's not easy because my funny part is me and Ezel were talking about this. We have this conversation going on. Are people redeemable? Okay. And he says yes. I say no. And he says, why do you say no? Because I'm saying people have to forgive themselves before they can be redeemed. Right. No matter what I say to you, no matter how I feel about you, until you forgive yourself in your heart and open yourself up for change, there's nothing I can say that will ever redeem you. Yeah. So
and that's only when you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the key. So going back to what you just said, you have to first open and be brave yourself, because a lot of people who make fun of you are actually envious of you because they don't have the guts to do it themselves.
Right. And that's the problem. I mean, you got to find out what is it in you that makes you feel that way. And what can you do to build yourself up? And sometimes when you are envious of someone, the best thing is to actually surround yourself with more people like that instead of like how you are, because it's contagious. Positive energy, I believe, is definitely contagious. Positive vibes, and it shows you. It lets down that guard and shows you that it's okay. It's okay to be happy for other people. It's okay to want to learn from someone. It doesn't mean that you are on a jock or you all up they butt. Like
clout chasing, whatever they call it.
Right. It's like you have to learn at some point. So speaking of learning, protecting our men, women, and children. What is one thing that you wish men would learn to do better when it comes to the protection of the Black woman?
That's tough. That's a tough question. I know it should be easy, but it's actually tough. Yeah. Because I found I've in my kind of travels, I've noticed that we went from being literally Adam and Eve, like together like this, to diametrically opposed to everything we ever stood for. Yeah. So for me, I just honestly think that the right now is we need to protect themselves and get that guy up out the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Get him up out the chat. Yeah.
No, they can't.
Whose man is this? Okay.
I don't know. That's but yeah, they gone.
Yeah. So whose man is that? But anyway, but I think the best way we can protect ourselves is by trying to have empathy. I know Ezel's probably spinning around in a circle right now, but right now, having a level of empathy and trying to understand each other's position before we pass judgment or before we make comments.
Right. Yeah. And understanding, to piggyback off of that, also understanding the struggle that we go through, the challenges that we face. You know, we can be on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, but at the same time, if you see something happening to a Black woman in front of you, you're going to want to protect her. You're going to want to step in and correct the situation.
Yeah. However,
yes,
here's where the empathy comes in, right? Because how many times have we interceded on someone else's behalf, even in our own special circles, and that person doesn't want to be helped, even though they're getting cheated on, getting the brakes beat off on, whatever.
right.
And then they end up making you the enemy
Yeah,
for something you perceive as something that's harmful to them.
right.
So it's a very fine line in
Yeah.
this level of protection, because
Yeah.
people kind of don't want to be protected sometimes. They kind of just want to go through their own thing, which I find odd, but hey, it's what it is.
Yeah. So what do we do? Like, as a woman, what can a woman do to help in these situations where, you know, we are, let's say, in a domestic abuse type relationship, and we want help, but we don't know how to get the help or ask for the help? Like, how do we seek counseling? How do we seek a third party? How do we seek shelter? How do we seek change?
Man, it's so hard because, real talk, my aunt went her whole life being abused, and eventually that abuser took her life from her. So I've had the unfortunate understanding of how a person can be literally addicted to the violence, not knowing their self-worth and not knowing that there are better things.
Right.
So it goes kind of back to what we were saying. It's like you can try to help somebody as much as possible. I used to watch my pops go in there and beat the brakes off my uncle. He used to like that's where I get it from. Pause on him.
Yeah.
And then one day my old dude was like, you know what? If you're going to stay here, I'm not going to keep coming.
Right.
And I'm talking about, like, this dude took a better part of 15 years worth of ass whoopings. He still was like, it's like so it's really hard to really put a stamp on it.
Right.
I would say that you just have to hold them in prayer, and you can't condemn the woman, because it becomes more than a physical thing. It becomes an emotional thing, it becomes a mental thing. And their self-esteem is kind of jacked up and backed up.
Mhm.
So they're in a bad way, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah.
So it's not just, why aren't you leaving?
Right.
So the only thing you can do is just try to be as understanding as possible, and try to uplift them and try to help them see their value, so they'll feel like they're worth the fight and they're worth being defended and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the interesting thing, and I agree with you 1,000%. The interesting thing is, we also have to bring awareness to the fact that men are also victims. There are
Facts.
women that are out there that I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be first, and this is where maybe my fight come from. But shut up. The
I knew
female
it.
side of my family have been known to beat up their men, like beat the brakes off their men. Grandmother, great grandmother, aunts, they fight their men, and it's unfortunate. It's so sad, because it's like, how do we condemn the men for abusing women, but then when women abuse the men, it's, oh, he must have did something to deserve that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
what?
full disclosure,
Yes.
women are finally catching up, because women been catching the fade since the beginning of time. So men got 1,000-year head start. So you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt until about 30. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a minute.
Right.
Because
It's
women
not an eye for eye.
yeah. No. Women been catching the fade for a minute. Medieval times, beginning of times, Time magazine. Women catch the fade on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? If they're not getting harassed at work, you know what I mean? Someone bumps your car, and then next thing you know, it's a pistol in your face. You tell a dude you don't want to date. He's shooting up the restaurant that you're sitting at.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, for those men that are becoming victims, we actually catching the backlash of all of our ancestors fucking the game up. So it's gonna take a minute for us to get the benefit of the doubt. If you feel like you're catching a fake, you might want to leave because you might not get the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Yeah, and they're gonna get used to it. That's the thing. Like if a woman, if a woman puts
don't incriminate yourself on me. Don't do it.
If a woman puts hands on you the first time,
gotta go.
You have to go. Because now it's like a wolf catching a lamb and he got that blood. Now they know how it feels. And you ain't really react. Oh, now I'm about to beat you all the time. Like, you have to, just like we say with women who are in these abusive relationships, if a man put hands on you the first time, he got to go. You got to go. It doesn't mean that they love you anymore because they put hands on you. And it's the same thing for men. And y'all need to be okay having these conversations. Be okay telling your homeboys what you got going on. And homeboys, y'all have to be supportive. You have to be more supportive because right now what you guys tend to do is make a mockery. Look,
we're jerk. We are horrible people. But see, our communication levels are different, right? I might help you, but if we get to cracking jokes, that might come up in the conversation. So, because we communicate different. I'm still gonna hold you down. You're still sleeping on my couch. I still got you. However, don't start joking on me about my situation, dog, because it might come back up in the conversation. Just saying.
I can't.
But your real homies is not gonna bring up your downfall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But some people that don't know you as well, they just might try you. Then that's what you got to remember. It's like, yeah, you want to say that when your woman was choking you out. Remember, she put you in an arm problem, boy. You better calm down. I'm go get her. You know what I'm saying?
The Rihanna and the Chris Brown situation.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. So Curlin says, if a woman puts her hands on you and you take it, you're a duck in her eyes and she'll never see you the same way again. That's so true.
Facts.
So true.
Facts.
So very true. Because now she knows she can do it. And you ain't going to do nothing about it.
That's why I said no win.
Trumping you in front of her friends, trumping you in front of your friends.
Because as soon as you frog up and you go back at her and she ends up getting hurt, it's not going to go well for you. So you might as well go ahead and go call your lawyer and go find you somewhere else to be, dog, because it's never going to work in your favor. Just saying.
No. Mike says, yeah, respect is lost when she knocks you out.
Yep.
Anyways, I feel sad. I feel bad too at the same time. I seen this video where this boy was smoking a black and he was sitting in their bedroom and their child was on the bed. And you seen that video and the chick was just like going in on him and he was like trying to play the video game and she was just wailing on him. And I, as a mother, to see something like that, listen, I ain't gonna even say what I would do. Listen.
I'll be getting that phone call.
Call your mother. Call your father. Because somebody got to put hands, and we ain't talking about the Jesus people. No, we got to bring the whole congregation together, okay? So in light of, not even just protecting, because at this point, you can't even protect something that you are staying in because you think that the person loves you. Let me give you a bonus one. Demand for respect. In a relationship where your chick is gonna go upside your head, how do you demand respect from someone like that? How do you expect them to respect you if they're showing you pure disrespect?
Outside of taking kickboxing, you gotta go. Fight fire with fire. Get some jiu-jitsu in your life and put in an arm bar.
Now y'all sparring. She don't know.
It's like, you got good. It's like, damn, that was good.
I want to knock you out on the second punch.
Right. You got a good chin. All jokes aside, like I said, respect is demanded, but it's also earned. Yeah. And some people don't respect themselves and the way they carry themselves. So it's hard for them to respect other people.
Yeah.
Because it's all about control. And people will try anything to break your level of respect down for yourself to control.
Right.
Especially when they're insecure.
Yeah. Do you think as a Black man, are you automatically respected by your peers, by other Blacks?
I think it's something I earned from all of my peers. Yeah. Because you don't walk in the door like, respect me. Like, the fuck is this guy? No, you have to be.
Who's this loser?
Who the fuck is this guy? You know, you have to. There's going to be like a moment of pause where people are going to not test you, but see how you're cut. Are you going? Yes. Work on the bear hug. It works. Yes, sir. Until she learns the headbutt, sir. Yeah, until she learns the headbutt, and then your nose is broke. And the foot stomp. Yeah, then your nose is broke and your toe broke. Yeah. Gotta keep your skills up, homie. Gotta keep your skills up. But anyway,
training.
That's right. But seriously though, you gotta dudes will size you up in some respects, not because they want to fight you, they want to see how you're cut.
Right.
Like, are you gonna hold the door for a woman? If we having a drink and the check come and you automatically go to the bathroom, or you don't do some nonsense like that. Mm-hmm. So your actions are going to dictate the level of actual respect you command from other people. Mm-hmm.
When you said the check come and you automatically go to the bathroom, which person? Which person
hey,
is
man,
going to the bathroom?
You get these cats where they want to go out drinking with the boys and they know they ain't got no bread and they ain't told nobody, but they be the main one ordering like the biggest drinks and the most beers, and then when the check comes, I must have left my wallet. Well, hey, bro, you must have left your hands at the crib because you about to be in there washing dishes, my boy. That's what you did.
Right,
dude.
Right.
You just brought yourself a second job, you know, cats like that.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. I can't.
Because people who are honest can usually be negotiated. Yeah, because everybody's not going to be up on their game. Everybody's going to have a couple of days where they may need a drink and they don't have it. So as long as you up front with most real dudes, they respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not using me as a stepping stone or your crutch or your money bank when you ain't got nothing in the bank, we good. Right. You know, you can earn that respect.
Right. So let me ask you this.
Ma'am.
When it comes to simps and alphas, why is there such this disconnect? Like, why does someone have to be labeled a simp simply because he wants to display how much he cares about someone or how much he's interested in someone by giving them items or doing acts of kindness for them? Why? Where does this whole simp and alpha and beta lifestyle come into play?
Because, all right, so my thing is, and it's Babyface's fault, by the way, and I'll explain that later, right? He messed it up for everybody. Him and his music messed it up for everybody, right? So it's like, what are you actually getting from this relationship? Yeah, you got a bunch of money, but as soon as your bread run out, is that girl still going to be there? You're just buying her stuff. You're buying her attention, and you're, I'll cook you dinner. As soon as you get home from work, I'll pay your rent. You'll pay for love. No. That don't sound like a relationship. You sound like a sucker because you've earned her attention by buying her. You never earned her respect.
Right.
You're just buying her. And that's why we be like, fam, if you got game, if you are confident in who you are, you can still have the same level of woman without having to buy her. Because that woman's not going to stay with you. As soon as your money run out, as soon as you get laid off from the gig, as soon as one bad stock go left, she going to go find the other dude that's going to keep paying that money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I look at it. I'm like, yo, dog, you know, what have you actually done to develop a relationship outside just paying for her loyalty for her to stay there?
Right. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people like, okay, so I do online dating and I find it very interesting how guys will be like, oh, simp this, simp that. Like Krillin says, is overrated.
It is very much so.
They say all of this, but then they're the main ones flashing what they have. So it's like, are you asking me to use you? Is that what it is?
Well, it's bait. it's still bait. You know what I mean? It's still bait, no matter how you say it. Because everyone says the catchphrases to make themselves seem like they're better than someone else.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes even, it's a put down. It's just like, oh, my car is bigger than yours. Oh, you ain't nothing because you ain't got the latest watch or whatever. It's still just, it's a fashion show. It's not actually,
Yeah.
It's actually,
I like this. So Carlin says a dude is only a simp if he's chasing behind some chick that don't really F with him like that, especially if he knows she ain't really about it. So yes, I agree with you 1,000%, because if you know that she's not interested in you, she don't want nothing to do with you, and then you start, oh, I can pay your bills, oh, I can do that, you're doing the most. Sit back,
face,
relax,
baby face.
So let's call it baby facing. That's what you're doing. Baby facing. Like, what happened to self-respect? What happened to dignity? What happened to having some type of ego?
Or common bonds that actually make you link together with that person.
Right. If that doesn't exist, then you can exit stage left. And I think people have to understand it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to be rejected, because everybody is not for everybody. You are not designed for everybody. And that's okay, because guess what? Those that will mess with you tough for who you are, not what you have. Like who wants to be only surrounded by people because of the materials I have or the image that I have. Like I've come across people who just trying to chill because they want to meet Simply Bree. You don't even know my real name. Like,
that was the humblest brag ever, because she just spoke about yourself in third person. That is the humblest brag ever.
That's
Mama, I made it. Well played.
But shut up. I'm just saying though, like,
I know.
It's like you downplay yourself far too much. And it's like, that to me is some baby face type stuff. Like when you putting people above yourself, nah, we not doing that. That's like I punch somebody in their face over something like that. Like, yo, pick up your chin.
It's a thin line between being selfless and just totally playing yourself. You know what I mean? It's a fine line, and you have to take it slow to make sure that you're keeping it even.
Right? Yeah. Listen. We need to have more of these conversations, because yes, we do need to have more self-respect. If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect anybody else to respect you? How do you even begin to demand respect? And then demanding respect isn't something that always has to be vocalized. Like just coming into a room, like with confidence, that self-esteem, like the way you carry yourself is going to speak for it. Kim says, she calls bullshit because dudes go into bitch mode if you are a woman with your own money too. Dating today is a no-win game unless you're trying to get laid. Kim?
That's what it is. I know some of the people she dated. No lies detected. I ain't gonna call them out.
It's like
who you talking about.
It's like a lose-lose situation. Mike said it goes to self-esteem. Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation, because it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you have your own money and you don't need a man, now that's the problem. If you need a man, that's the problem. So at what point, where is the balance? Where is the median between the two?
I don't know, because it's one of those things where you would think with the ratio that we have from men to women, there'd be probably a little bit more selection in how things are rolling, but it seems like shit got worse. I don't know how. So, I find that a lot of these dudes, and I'm just talking in general, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, you know who you are, where they are more concerned with being taken care of than they are with having their own.
Yeah.
Where they're looking at every woman as their ticket to retirement versus actually, instead of trying to build or trying to let's just spoil each other because we both got a couple dollars, or let's just enjoy each other's time. They're looking for the retirement plan all the damn time.
401k.
Yeah, and I find that to be.
I need to
Yeah, so I find the line getting skewered a lot of times. Women are like that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like women are taught a little bit differently on how to approach men, where they are taught to look for levels of stability in the people they date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So men are taught to be self-sufficient and be providers. Women are kind of taught that, but in a different way, where they're almost damn near like they're forced to be in relationships and they're forced to always seek out someone to take care of them.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of skewered, but I think that's another one of those things that are going to have to even out over time.
Yeah. And it's just going to be more of these conversations, you know, that we need to have in order to break the iceberg down, honestly. So for those of you who are watching, please like, comment, share, let a friend know, you know, this is something that we are doing basically every day. So we definitely want you guys to be a part of it. If you are interested in being a guest and you are a male, you can definitely hit me up. info@hesaidwhatnetwork.com. If you are a female and you want to be on our sister show, which will be tomorrow, She Said What, all you have to do is send an email to info@hesaidwhatnetwork.com, or you can go ahead and actually visit hesaidwhatnetwork.com and look for a booking or a book, and you can actually just go ahead and reserve your spot then and there to come onto the show. So I want to give an opportunity right now, a moment to RG for him to just put out there what it is that he does, how you guys can reach out to him, and how you can become a part of his world.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Thank you very much. My name is RG. You can find me at Instagram under RGainsII. Me and my kids, we run a channel called 40 and Still Gaming. This week, the brand new addition to the 40 and Still Gaming lineup. This is the Roy Vader desktop mask there. So you can have the Force with you at all times with Roy Vader at your workstation. Yeah, but we're just a game community. We try to uplift families and friends. And you don't even have to play video games to be a part of 40 and Still Gaming. You just have to be cool.
That's it.
And of course, I'm always a part of the He Said What Network. I am a lucky, fortunate person to be a part of Simply Sports. Comes up every Monday. Me and my brother Mike Johnson and sometimes Bree, when she's not trying to tell us to chill out, because we go in there. We're talking. We got 10% sports, 90% live. So you don't have to be a sports expert to be a part of our show. All you gotta do is just show up. Everyone's had their favorite pair of gym shoes. Everyone's had a jump rope or something. So that means you're already a part of the show.
Yes. That's amazing. Yes, RG. And thank you. Listen, for those of you who are watching right now, RG was actually he came on last minute because I actually had a previous guest who canceled at the last minute, and RG was actually able to move his interview time up to now. So he is always like in my back pocket. He's like the ace. And I greatly
put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game, coach.
He's like, stick me in there. You guys may see him tomorrow. You don't know. So with that being said, you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Are you on Twitch?
Yes, I am.
He is. What's your Twitch name?
Actually, it's still under RG26116, my PlayStation tag. Yes, I am.
Okay.
We've been delinquent on Twitch. Yep, we've been a little delinquent though. I do apologize. I haven't Twitch streamed in a couple months because this He Said What network thing has been popping. So we've been locking it down. But I will be back streaming on Twitch ASAP.
Awesome. Yeah, we're on Twitch as well under He Said What Network. I do broadcast up there from time to time, these shows. So I think I'll add it back up there as another destination. But thank you so much, RG, once again for rocking with us tonight. You guys, you can find me on Instagram at _simplybree_, and that's SIMPLEEBREE_. And if you are listening to this audio, please, you do not want to miss the next live interview. None of our live shows, you don't want to miss any of them. So just go to youtube.com/. /C as in Charlie / He Said What Network. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I may even take Ezel up on what it is that he said and create a text line and just send you guys the link every time we have a show. If this is something that you're interested in, please let me know. Go to the website, hesaidwhatnetwork.com, and give us your feedback. What did you think about tonight's show? What did you like? What didn't you like? Is there anything that you feel we could change? I love how the smoke goes across the screen, by the way, RG. It just looks like the ambiance is just...
Oh, yeah. Cigar life. That's right. Zen. All day.
Yes. So if you actually want to donate to the network, you want to become a monthly subscriber and, donate $1, donate $5, we will definitely shout you out across the network as well as put you up on our website. We may even do a one-on-one video with you, find out what it is that you like, have you up as a guest as well. So you can go to patreon.com /He Said What Network. And I don't know why I got that .com there. I don't understand it, but don't forget to screw the .com. But most importantly,
no, don't screw anything. Pause.
I mean, if they want to screw it, then they can screw it. Some people like screwing stuff like that. I don't know.
Right.
Most importantly, make sure that you are having these conversations. He Said What Network is all about pushing the agenda to bring enlightenment, bring healing for the Black community. That is why we are doing this, because of people like you, people like me, people like RG. We want to make a difference in the world, and we understand that having your own platform is powerful, but also using your platform and having a voice is even more powerful. So please make sure that you guys are using your voices, letting it be known, spreading the word. Let them know He Said What Network is here, and we are spreading positivity. And also, you do so on the same, platform. If you have a podcast, spread the word on yours as well. So with that being said, we are getting ready to rock out of here. I appreciate everybody chilling with us tonight. Like I said, RG, thank you so much for rocking with us last minute.
Anytime.
We will catch you great people later. So you have a good night. Bye.